Today, the Tacoma gets some ditch lights. Welcome back everyone. I hope you guys are all staying healthy and safe. In today's video, we're going to continue upgrading the lighting of my 2019 Tacoma by installing some ditch lights. Now, I've decided to go with the Bajadesigns Squadron Sport Amber lights in a drive-in combo pattern. This will match the fog lights, and I'm going to be mounting those onto the rig using the Cali raised low profile ditch lights. I feel like they're going to look really nice being low profile. Install overall should take less than 30 minutes to do both sides, especially since I do have the little 8-switch panel. Now, as always, if you guys haven't already, make sure to drop me a like below, subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't already, and let's get going. First thing we'll do is see what's in the box. Okay, first up, let's open up the Bajadesigns box. As always, we got another sticker, so this will go on the wall as well. We have the actual lights themselves. So this is a combo beam. Essentially, it's gonna have a spot and a floodlight. Should be nice. We have a wiring harness, which is awesome. And then the brackets, which we'll use to mount to the Cali raise kit. And then on the Cali raise kit, it's pretty straightforward. We just got the brackets here. Now this is just essentially going to reuse the factory hardware on the hood. So there is no included hardware, keep that in mind. And these do have markings on them, so here this is the passenger. This is a driver. Okay, that's it for the kit. Alrighty, so the first thing of the install, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to throw these lights onto these ditch light brackets while on the workbench. With these Cali raised brackets being low profile, it might be kind of a pain in the ass to throw these brackets on while this is on the rig. So I'm going to throw this bracket on while we're here. We'll throw the light on and then we'll install them to the rig. It'll just make it a lot easier. And then what I'm going to do is I'm essentially going to point these at about 45 degrees. If I need to adjust them, I'll do it on the rig, but I think that should be fine. Essentially, the purpose of these ditch lights is as you're coming around corners at night, you'll be able to see better. And then also, of course, if there is a ditch to your side, you'll be able to illuminate a lot better. So that's why we are going to be pointing these about 45 degrees outwards. And then also keep in mind as far as the orientation of the bracket, as you guys can see, the flat end will be towards the rear. This part right here will be towards the front, so essentially it's going to sit like so. First thing we'll do is we'll throw this Baja bracket onto this Cali raised bracket like so, and then we'll attach the light. To do that, throw it down here. We'll use the provided hardware like that. Throw the nylock nut on the back. Now that we have the bracket on, we're going to throw the light onto the bracket. Essentially just slide it in. This little washer will go in between the bracket and the light, so keep that in mind. Do that on both sides. Next up, we'll just go through and finger tighten these. And then we'll be able to adjust these once they're on the truck. And then just keep in mind, as you are tightening these down, don't go too hard. Otherwise, you might damage the actual housing with it being just, I believe these are aluminum housings. I could be wrong though. Do the same thing on the passenger one, and then we'll get these installed on the truck. Next up, we're going to install the light onto the truck itself. Now this is very simple. Essentially, this bracket right here is going to go right here where the actual hood mounts. We're going to take these bolts off, throw this on, put the bolts back in. So first thing I'm going to do is slide in through here. Now, since I'm doing this by myself, I'm going to do one bolt at a time. Essentially, I'm going to remove the front bolt. We'll throw the bracket on like so. Just hand tighten the bolt, and then we'll do the back one. That way, if the hood does shift a little bit, it'll be easy to readjust it. So. Okay, and then this bracket goes just right here, flush. Next up, we'll loosen this guy. And if the hood does shift a little bit, we're not gonna worry too much, as we'll be able to readjust it very easily. Okay, finally, we'll just go through, put this guy in place. Next up, we'll just go through and tighten these bolts down. And there we have it, these guys are on. Next up, let's get the wiring through. Okay, next up we're gonna run the wiring right here through the weather stripping. Just gonna pull it up a little bit. Okay. There we have it. Now that I have the wire ran through, I'm just gonna quickly tighten this down, essentially just to adjust it. I'm happy with the position on how far it's going outside the vehicle. I do want it to point slightly down, so it's not going up, so something like this will be pretty good. And then once we're on the trails, I can always adjust this and make sure it's perfect at that point. Okay, this one's good as is. Next one, let's go do the other side. And there we have it. I've got the ditch lights mounted onto the truck. Next up, I'll be doing the wiring. Now, Baja did provide a full wiring harness for this kit, which I'm not going to be using. Essentially, as you guys know, I installed the 8-switch panel in a previous video, which I'll link to below. Now, essentially, I'm just gonna run these into the switch panel, so I'll be able to control from my little switch panel inside the cab. If you guys do have any questions on how to use the actual Baja wiring harness, just drop me a comment below, and I can make a follow-up video to this, but it's pretty straightforward. There is also a diagram inside the box as well. With that being said, we'll stop the install here. Now let's take the truck out and see how these lights perform. All right, there we have it. Now this was a super simple install. It took me about 35-40 minutes with recording the video to do the full installation, so very easy. Next up, what I do want to show you guys is the actual light output of the Baja Squadron ditch lights. First up, we'll turn the headlights on with the ditch lights to show you guys the full light output, give you a pretty decent representation there. So you guys are seeing that on the screen now. Next up, what I'll do is I'll turn all the lights off and we'll just turn the ditch lights on themselves. This way you guys can get a pretty decent representation of what just these lights will do. As you guys can see, it gives us some amazing visibility with just the ditch lights on. And then also here you guys can see what it looks like from the aerial view. Now, overall, I'm super pumped on these lights so far. Installation was a breeze. They're performing just as I expected. If you guys found this video useful, I would appreciate if you drop me a like below. Also subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't already. And until next time, I hope you guys have a great day. See ya.